Mike, what's going on,
Hello.
man?
What's going on, Angel?
Good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we like to have Christmas all year long.
That's okay. In Canada, it's the same thing. It's Christmas here, like at least 6 months of the year.
Yeah, well, apparently this is supposed to be a Halloween tree, has to do with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay.
It's not my idea.
It's kind of like a Jack Skellington type Nightmare Before Christmas type thing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Love it.
Yeah, my fiance she has like a mini get together for her friends, so
Oh, okay.
yeah, so we have the Christmas tree in here. She has the kitchen all decorated and decked out. So
Do you maybe want to just speak into the mic a little bit? Just
can you hear me now?
there. That's much better.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Better?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool.
How's your week?
Not bad, man. It was pretty busy. Getting a bunch of content out. Had some calls with a few people, but other than that, pretty good. How about you?
About the same. Yeah. Coaching a couple new clients. Just doing some marketing, some courses, some reading. It's been good. It's been busy.
Nice.
So yeah.
Man.
Just
So yeah,
working
man.
on my time management a little bit more and writing things down a little bit more. Just trying to stay organized, but it's been good.
That's what it's all
Grateful.
about, man. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all for. I mean, this year's been pretty crazy. Can you believe this is the last week of September?
Dude, you know what? Like, I heard it on the radio today on the way to the gym, and one of the radio guys was just like, "Where has this year gone?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Like, come to think of it, where has this year gone?"
It's been crazy since the beginning of this year. It's just been nuts. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought that we'd be in the situation that we are in today? Not just us, but the whole world. I mean, it's insane, man. Like,
It's a very unprecedented time. It's crazy times,
but
and
it's just like it is what it is. I mean, this is
yeah,
call it the new norm, call it to whatever you want.
yeah. Call it 2020.
Exactly, 2020. Exactly. I mean, whatever. To all my conspiracy theorists out there.
Oh yeah, and there's many.
It's the new norm.
You got to take what you hear with a grain of salt,
exactly.
and make up your and go with what you believe.
Exactly. And one of the good things about self-development is just that, you know what? Control the things that you can control, and if there's things that you can't control, like COVID and the pandemic and politics and whatever, everything going on with that, there's things that you cannot control. What you can control is your next move. What are you gonna do personally? What are you gonna do to make yourself
your microphone, bud?
Can you hear me better? Let me
try
this.
Better.
Let me try this. Let me try to plug it in again.
Okay. Just it sounded a little faded there.
Can you hear me now?
Just so everybody can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Try again. Yeah, that's better.
Back in.
Much better.
All right, cool.
But yeah, no, 2020 is an interesting year. It's some people are rolling with it and accepting it and just kind of accepting it as what it is, not anything different. And then some people are just rolling with it in a whole different way and in a whole different light, and they're not they're resisting it. They're really not accepting it, unfortunately. And it's just like, you can only control what you can control, and you can only control how you perceive it and accept it and show up, right? So that's pretty much all you can do.
When you listen to the news and everything like that, it's just gonna rot. I mean, it's just gonna eat your brain. I mean, depending on how you view it, depending on how you.
Sorry, dude. I can't hear you.
Let's try this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this mic.
Yeah, no, I can hear you now, definitely.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, it happens.
Anyways, you can hear me though, for sure, right?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, I'll let you know if I can't.
Okay, cool.
Want to make sure everybody can hear you.
It's all about how you perceive the information and things like that, because it's really crazy out there.
Yeah, like I said, it's unprecedented times. It's now almost the end of September. We're approaching. I think today is the first day of fall, I believe.
Well, I don't see fall. I live in Florida, man.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you get 12 years of hot summer weather all the time. So
12 months of 12 months of heat.
12 months of
It's
heat,
like
but at
90
least you're
degrees
keeping
in December.
festive. What's that?
It gets to 90 degrees sometimes here in Florida in December.
Wow, I just can't imagine like
It's sick.
sweating my ass off in December when it's just like the complete opposite here. So like I said, we get 6 months of winter, so it feels like Christmas for at least 6 months,
Yeah.
and we're hearing Christmas music for at least a good 2 or 3. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I like it, but at the same time, it gets to you. People always say, "Oh man, I wish I had your weather." Yeah, well, come live in humidity every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Today's topic is going to be about courage, right?
Courage. Yeah.
So when it comes to courage, it could be a lot of things, but one thing that really resonates that people really need to understand is that when it comes to courage, it doesn't have to be about things with. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're fading out again.
Hold on.
You need like one of those McDonald's like headsets or something.
I'm gonna unplug this thing now. I don't know what's going on with this. I never had any problems. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I just don't know what's going on with my earbuds. But yeah, when it comes to courage, doesn't necessarily need to be with being courageous and jumping off bridges or going mountain climbing. Yeah, that's courageous, but I'm talking about like maybe personal stuff, like personal things that you've never done before.
Stepping out of your comfort zone.
Stepping out of your comfort zone, because that's one of the things that people are still struggling with.
Yeah.
I know that in the past, personally, I used to suffer greatly from being in my comfort zone all the time. I've never had the courage to do something as coaching or coaching online or coaching people over the phone or coaching people live on Zoom. I didn't even know that even existed until I did my research and invested in myself and what I need to do, and I love it. So to me, that's being courageous, because now I'm doing something that I truly love and what I truly enjoy doing.
Right.
But yeah, that's just an example on my part of what courage is, and I think that courage can come from within. So that's something that I wanted to talk about a little bit today with you, and really just get out there and what courage means personally. So what do you think?
Well, for me, like courage has always just been kind of one of those little stepping stones of coming out of your comfort zone. From my first conscious memory of courage, as you will, was, going to kindergarten for my first time. I know it sounds kind of funny, but when you're used to having your family around all the time, and then your dad's dropping you off at school and he's saying, "Okay, bye," with a bunch of strangers, and you're like, what are you doing? Where are you going?
You know,
You know what I mean?
I'm not laughing because guess what?
Didn't like that too much.
Yeah, well, when you say don't laugh about it, but what's funny about my story is that I flunked kindergarten.
Oh, is that right? How do you flunk kindergarten? Really?
I didn't know any English, man.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that was even a passable grade or a failable grade. I didn't even know that was such a thing. I thought they just give you a pity. Just here you go, move along.
Yeah, well, I was told I had to come back and repeat my kindergarten year.
I would be calling the teacher and being like, "Come on now, what were you thinking? Do you know what you did for my courage?"
I used to get heat for that. Oh my God.
Is that right, eh?
But hey, man, I finally learned my ABCs in English, and I was able to move on in my life and
yeah,
make it a first grade.
Hey, yeah, no, I guess we got.
It is what it is, man. Hey, it is what it is, man.
We got 2 fond memories of kindergarten. Yeah, no, I had a rough start. Like I didn't know where I was or what I was doing there. I just remember trying to chase my dad down and being like, "Where are you going? What's going on here? What are you doing leaving me with these strangers?" But over time, I think I just kind of, once I, you know, felt the atmosphere out and I saw all the toys and all the people there. And then I noticed that I wasn't alone because there was another student that came in not long after, and I became friends with him, just with the same day within, for years after, because we stayed in school for the same grade after grade. He did the same thing. He was just like, his mom left or his dad left. I think it was his mom dropped him off. My dad dropped me off. And same thing. He freaked out. Like, where are you going? And he ran after her down the halls, and she was trying to sneak away while, he was playing toys with us. And, oh yeah, like, it's just one of those things, man, that you just gotta adapt. You gotta step out of your comfort zone and just kind of learn to accept, right?
People
And I
are
think
so like, yeah, man. It's just this is the year of just being. It's just a test. It's just basically a test for ourselves, and it's just
one
really,
big test.
you know what I mean? It's just like it's all about survival of the fittest, and what can you do for yourself? How can you help? What can you do for your family?
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's in different situations. Some people lost their job. Some people lost their homes. There's a lot of things that are there's a lot of things that are happening. So what can you do as an individual to better yourself and learn other skills to find that next job, or possibly find that entrepreneur self that you've had this whole time and you didn't know you had, but now that you learn a certain thing or a certain trade, now you can go out and do your own thing. I mean, you can't get more courageous than that sometimes.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who I'm sure you know, really brought this up in his book and in a lot of his podcasts as well that I follow. And he still talks about this to this day. And, he talks about like the old traditional method, whereas, in the 60s where the system was set up, you go to school, get good grades, you go to college, you do really well with that. You get a good job after college. You get a really good 401k in the States or a good pension here in Canada. And then you retire with that one company. And those days are so long and gone now that it doesn't exist, but that mindset is still there. And I think people are kind of fallen short with a lot of the courage to step out of that thought process still, because it's still very alive and well. The universities and colleges are very much pushing students to come there. Like, look what these students are doing. Come and do this. Come and spend 40, 50, 80 grand and to pursue that same old traditional method. That's just not, it's an outdated method. Now, that's not to say if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something, that's totally fine, depending on what you want to do.
Right.
But what I am saying is find the courage to step away from that if that's what your expectation is from your parents, from society, from your teachers.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the only method that you were taught, then you need to really look outside of that and see that you do have options. Right?
No, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that, going back to what you said about school, and yeah, you're right. It all depends on what you want to do. But going off of what you said about school and everything like that, probably one of the most courageous things I've done, which, yeah, it did keep me in debt for a very long time, but you know what? The experience and the accomplishment that came out of that was unprecedented.
Yes.
Only because I've always dreamt about finishing school, and I wanted to make my family proud, and doing something that was out of my reach for a very long time in my life. I didn't know where I was going until I really decided that, you know what, I'm going to finish school. I've always had this dream. I've always had this goal. I just didn't have the courage enough to even just go back and just let me just finish. But I just knew I had to do it. So, like I said, going back in time, I did it. I went to school. I worked the job. I went from work. I got off of work. I went straight to school. I got off of school and I went home and I studied some more because I knew that I need to get done. So once I had, once I had the email saying that I completed all my credits and everything like that, I just couldn't tell you the joy that I had and the accomplishment that I felt when I first did it and I graduated. I walked down that stage.
Yes.
Talk about courageous, man. That
Yeah.
was really the turning point of my life that I would never forget, and I would cherish that. And I will take it to the grave. But those are moments in your life that you need to experience at least
Those are
once.
milestones. Yeah. Those are proud milestones that help you
Yeah,
want to move on to the
people,
next goal,
yeah,
to be
people. I mean,
courageous.
yeah, people talk bad about school and everything like that. But you know what? One thing that school teaches you, well, that's a little bit cliche because people are gonna have different opinions on that. But whatever. But one thing I think that school can teach you is that it teaches you commitment. It teaches you responsibility,
Yeah.
and that when you graduate, hey, you graduated, you did it.
Yes.
No one did it for you but yourself.
Yeah.
The
And I
commitment of it.
like that. I agree with that too, because I think it teaches kids that, hey, you know what? You've accomplished this, you can accomplish anything.
Right.
You've hit one
Exactly.
milestone. Now, okay, you've climbed this mountain all the way to grade 12, all the way to college, whatever. Now, look over. There's a bigger mountain for you to climb, right?
Right.
Metaphorically speaking. It teaches people that you can aim higher, aim for the stars and you will land on a mountain, or they say aim for the stars and you'll land on the moon, kind of thing. And
Absolutely.
that was kind of the thing for me. In my case, obviously, I really didn't know what I wanted to do after. Now that's not everybody. In my case, it was a little bit different. I didn't want to pursue the major and the direction I went with that particular school and education that I had. But it also inspired me to take further action and step out of my comfort zone and take more courageous steps towards more different goals, more different milestones, another mountain to climb. So yeah, you're right. Once you do hit that school milestone, it teaches students and kids, and no matter what level of education, to better themselves, to
That's all it is.
you can do it. Yeah, it's a good process that takes them through along the journey,
Absolutely.
right? Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think personal goals is one of the greatest things you can do. And once you accomplish that, you're not the same in a good way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just see life differently. You see you're more daring. You're gonna be taking chances. It's all about life. It's about taking
Yeah.
chances. Yeah, there's something called gambling, but you know what? It's also about taking chance on what you want to do.
Well,
Um,
because you ask yourself, you're like, okay, if you're coming over a hurdle, and then you could take a look at that and say to yourself, well, hey, I was courageous then. Why can't I be courageous now? And you could look at that as kind of the precedent for yourself. So, and like in
right.
your case,
Well, of course.
walking down that stage for me too was, and collecting my degree was it was a very hard thing. And I was like, wow, like I just visualized myself doing it, and visualize the day when I, was wearing my robe, and just, the power of visualization. And that inspired me to take courage action and to get up there and finish and do it. No
Yeah.
matter how many times I wanted to quit, man, I
As
wanted to
much
just get out of there.
as much bad things are being talked about school and the education system, once you get that degree, that follows you, man. That follows you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I have no regrets.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It is what
definitely.
it is.
There's
It's a
definitely no
journey when it
regrets.
comes to finishing school and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's other things. There's other things to being courageous, and I know that before we even started this podcast here, you were telling me that that one of your goals is to have the guts to do skydiving.
Yeah, you know what? I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to. I've always been fascinated by it. I love extreme sports and stuff like that. When it comes to things like that, I've always wanted to skydive. I've always wanted to hang glide. One day, I've always wanted to maybe bungee jump. I would probably do skydiving before I did bungee jumping. I don't know. That just to me looks way more fun. Looks way more appealing. But that's just me. That's another way for me to step out of my comfort zone and just say, screw it. Like on a nice, like warm tropical day, I would love to jump out of a plane
Do
and
you
go and experience that. at least once in my life. Absolutely.
Did you see
You
that
know,
once? Did you see that one special on YouTube with David Blaine?
I possibly, is that
Oh, okay,
recent or is
well,
that a
if you
few years
look it
ago?
up, if you look it up on YouTube, it's like him where he literally takes a balloon, like
Okay.
he takes like a bunch of balloons and he goes all the way up, like almost literally to the atmosphere. And he has no mask on or anything like that. He's just going all the way up to
What?
altitude. Yeah, you can check it out on YouTube. It's pretty crazy. Pretty entertaining once. I mean, it's pretty long. I think it's like 2 hours or like 3 or 2 hours around there. But
Really?
yeah, but yeah, he literally almost goes up to the atmosphere of the Earth, and then he just drops and just skydives, literally
Huh.
almost from the atmosphere. Yeah, with no mask or anything like that. So that was pretty. Talk about courageous.
That's crazy, man.
That is
No,
crazy.
I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that. I think he went up from I think it was from like New Mexico or Arizona, and he went all the way up, literally up to the atmosphere of the Earth. And once you get to that peak, apparently like the temperature just drops dramatically.
Yeah, it's like ice cold.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was like I guess
It's
it
a
was like
different layer of the earth.
yeah, it was like literally 80 to 75 degrees when he was on ground. But when he got almost all the way up to the atmosphere, it was literally
Past the stratosphere, I think it's called.
yes, past the stratosphere. I guess it went
Yeah.
up to like 6 degrees. I mean,
Oh
that's
my
crazy.
gosh.
So just imagine that. But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man. I mean, that's about it, really. I mean, we just want to make a quick video on courage and what it really means. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted to see if, if there's anybody out there who has, similar experience or is kind of going through something like this right now. You're not sure what to do, leave a comment. Or if you're disputing um, some of your own courage or disputing some of our own courageous, like things that we've done or things that maybe you're inspired by, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like I said, we're judgment. It's a judgment-free zone here. I can tell you that much.
Judgment-free zone. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I mean, I could tell you that there's things that I still wanna achieve, and I know that there's things on Mike that he still wants to achieve. So just
Yeah.
know that whoever's watching this, and if you're watching this yourself, just know that you're not alone. There's other people out there too that are still trying to find their meaning and what they want to do. So just know you're not alone, and this is not the end. This is not the end, and there's a lot of things going on in the world, but don't let that stop you. If you let that stop you,
Yeah.
it's not gonna get you anywhere. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that's up to you, whatever. But like I said, we're here to help if you're looking for it. Um, but if you are doing what you want to do, that's probably one of the greatest things that you could be doing for yourself during these tough times. So like I said one more time, that you're not alone. So just know
Yeah,
that.
sometimes, you're not alone. And, if you need a little boost in your own courage or things like that, no matter what is going on in your life, we all could use a little help. Everybody does. And,
I
hit
know
us
we
up.
did.
Yeah, we did, and it only made us stronger. So it was definitely worth it. And I'm grateful for it every single day.
Absolutely,
Yep,
absolutely.
definitely.
But anyways, I hope everybody has a, great weekend, Mike. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend as well. We will
Yeah,
talk
man, you too.
we will talk very soon, and on to the next one. We'll tell you guys when's our next podcast, and hopefully you
And
guys
we're
have a
going
great.
live soon. We'll be
Yeah,
going live soon.
live. Yes, we definitely
Yeah,
gotta do that. We definitely gotta do that. Give it a shot. So
we're going to go live soon. We'll keep you updated.
absolutely, absolutely. So we'll let you guys know, and hopefully you guys tune in, and hope you continue enjoying the Two Cool Minds. So Mike, have a good night, man.
Peace, brother. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.